back, y'all. Today we're going to talk about some board games. As you can see, I'm clearly laughing here because my dogs have decided to join us, and they would just not allow us to not have them here. So you can't see Jack. He's not in the shot right now, but he's right there.
Yeah.
He's right there. He's the miniature cow that keeps.
They're not doing anything, and they're hilarious. Like,
yeah. And then this is Bane. He's my Siberian Husky here. So let's talk about some board.
Yeah, we're talking
let's talk
about
about some board games. I had to get that out of the way though because
Yeah.
we can't stop
Yeah.
laughing about it. So
that's true. This is like take 8.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 3 picked out. First is going to be the first game that we got that kind of got us into the scene of board games, if you will. And the second is going to be our most played game. And then the third is going to be our collective favorite game. So first off is the Spartacus board game. It's based on the Showtime TV show.
it wasn't on Showtime.
Yes, it was.
No.
Oh, Stars. It was on Stars.
It was Stars.
Ah, okay. It was on
Spartacus.
Stars. Yeah,
Well,
Spartacus.
come on.
Hey, man.
Blood
Forget
and
about it.
Sand.
Blood and Sand, yeah.
Yeah,
Blood and Thunder.
Hey, let me tell you this. I loved that.
I love
TV
it
show.
too.
I loved that. TV
There
show.
is so much man butt in that show.
Yeah, there. Oh God, if you want to watch some just brutal death scenes
And some prime man butt.
prime man, but there's actual penis everywhere.
Oh,
Which is-
there's penis everywhere.
Yeah, which is a problem with most of these shows. Is it's all just women naked. You never get to see some prime peen. You know, so if
So you get full frontal penis
if you really
and
want
man
some,
butt,
yeah,
and you get some boobs too, but
there's plenty of naked.
yeah,
men.
there's naked women everywhere.
But if you really want some prime peen, this is the show for you.
And this is gladiator peen too.
So they're all amazing in amazing shape. Okay, but it's
Okay,
a brutal show. It's actually really cool.
I don't
like
know.
the show a lot.
I honestly can't recall why, but I remember I was at Half Price Books back in Houston. And if you're watching this, you don't have a Half Price Books. I don't know if this is a Texas thing. I think Half Price Books is a Texas thing.
I honestly haven't even thought about it.
Yeah. So if you never heard of Half Price Books, it's just a used bookstore, and they sell everything under the sun: books, video games, movies, comic books, and they sell board games too. And I was just looking through, and we both liked the Spartacus TV show, obviously for the penis. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I grabbed the game. I was like, it was like $12. You know, I was like, whoa, this is cool. And I always liked board games like your Monopolies and stuff, but never really cared too much. But this game didn't look like that. You know what it was? As I'm talking about it, it hit me. We were talking about Dungeons and Dragons like a lot.
Oh, that's
We
correct.
wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons. We were talking about it all the time. Like one day, we're gonna
really
play
did.
some D&D.
Try to figure that out because I had
Yeah.
gotten into it. Actually, this kind of brings us back to another episode. So if you haven't seen episode 3,
Yeah,
part
last
2,
one, yeah.
we talk about Community.
Yeah.
And in
That is,
Community,
yeah,
there's a
that's where it
specific
came from.
episode. There's actually 2 episodes where they play D&D. And
And they're like the best episodes of the whole series.
I don't know about that.
The first
but-
one, oh man.
I don't know about that. But
So good.
they are great episodes, and they're kind of what really kind of made me want to play
Yeah.
D&D.
So
For some odd reason.
we had talked about that, and then when I saw Spartacus, I was like, this looks great. I opened it. The rule book is like a magazine. You know what I mean? Like the
Very
rule
high
book
quality.
alone is like a thick magazine. I was like, okay, this feels like in between Monopoly and Dungeons and Dragons, which I still to this day don't even understand at all. You know, but it felt so I bought it. And it felt difficult, and we had to play it about 6 times before we got a grasp on it.
Yeah.
You know, and ended up just like falling in love with it. We played it like 20 times in a row with our wives and then our friends, and just anything is just like, man, this is the coolest game.
It is a lot of
Ever.
fun. There's a skill to it, but there's also chance because of there's dice.
Yeah, there's like dice.
There's dice
manipulation and stuff,
involved and stuff. So for those of you who kind of fear like the thought process of like, oh, I need to plan out, and that's just really stressful to me. There's still a lot of chance to it.
Yeah, in order to win, you do kind of gotta have strategy.
Obviously, you need to have strategy.
But
It's
you
fun
can
game.
play.
But it's fun
and just
it's-
play, not worry about your strategy. Because that's a lot of times that's what I do. I just try to kill everybody, you know, and I lose every single time.
Yeah.
But I have fun, so I don't care.
So yeah, I mean, but it is cool that in the next game that we're talking about is the same way.
Actually, the next game that we're going to talk about is made by the same people, which is a board game company called Gale Force 9. They made Spartacus, so check out Gale Force 9. And they do Dungeons and Dragons too, actually.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, believe it or not.
I do want to say this. We're actually not seasoned board game players. Like I said,
yeah.
it's only been about a year and a half that we've really
that's
had
true.
this interest, but we've gotten several games now because of it.
Yeah, it's
And-
funny that it took off. Like,
Yeah, and
like
it really
really just took off for us.
especially you do this thing where you get into something and you just dive into it
And I
like
get
crazy.
super into it.
One week it's gardening, and then the next it's
Love it.
and the next it's board
Next
games.
board game. Then bicycles.
Bicycles.
Forget about
that's
it.
another.
I have bike parts all over the place.
Yeah,
Hey, no
and I
doubt.
love it too, like because no one else has this interest except for him,
Yeah.
and he'll talk about it at
Constantly.
length. You know what I mean? So
And none of my friends care.
and we're all just sitting there like shaking our head, like, yeah, man.
You know, I'm not going to stop. What am I going to not talk about things?
You know, it's like how would you feel if I just came into the room and just boss hogged it and be like,
He
have
does
you
that
ever read this?
all the time?
Have you ever read this issue of Daredevil?
He does that all the time.
Bull!
Okay,
never
let's move
done
on
that.
to the
I've
next
never
one. The
done that.
next one is also by Gale Force 9, which is kind of why I got it. I wanted another game from them. It was the second game that we got.
Yeah.
And it's another licensed TV show game. It's based on Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
It's called Sons of Anarchy, Men of Mayhem.
We like to call it Sons of Malarkey.
Sons of Malarkey.
Or Sons of Malarkey, because I like the A. sound.
And it's kind of like a mallard, like a duck.
Yeah.
So Sons of Anarchy is different because it's a board game, but there's not really a board. There's just several tiles. They're actually basically just exactly like a coaster that you would find in a bar to put your drink on. And they're different locations. And you play games, like your game could be Sons of Anarchy or the One-Nighters or the Lynn Syndicate, whichever player you have. And the goal is to get as much money as you can and get to these different locations. So your board is you lay out 9 of these different tiles, these little coasters, and you just try to bring your gang there and take over that spot. And other gangs can come in there and try to battle you for it, and you use dice to like fight. You can bring guns, and you can sell drugs, and you can steal money, and it's
See, this is interesting that we're talking about like the rules of it and everything, because I don't feel like we got into that on Spartacus.
we didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, you
We
know,
didn't.
so I feel like that's a missed opportunity. I do want to say, like, it's going back just a
It's
little bit.
similar to Spartacus, though.
Yeah. It's almost, if I could say, Sons of Anarchy is a little bit like that Spartacus game meets Risk.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, because it's kind of area. Because it's basically the same game, but in Sons of Anarchy, there's area control. Just how Risk is, you want to take over Europe and you want to take over America or whatever.
But the point of Risk is to just kind of devour everything.
But
But really, more of the point of Sons of Anarchy is to kind of pigeonhole your. I don't want to say pigeonhole, but to just kind of stay in one spot and benefit as much as you can from it, and go somewhere else and benefit as much as you can from there.
And if another person tries to get, like, say one tile allows you to get a certain amount of cash, you want to get there so your opponent can't get there and get that money.
So the point of Spartacus, though, is to gain influence.
Yeah.
And there are different
It's kind of
ways.
like a point system.
Yeah. And there are different ways that you gain influence.
Are we explaining these rules terribly?
Yeah, we are. I mean, and this is why. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're not board game reviewers.
Yeah, we're not board
just
game
trying
reviewers.
to share this specific interest with y'all.
We're getting there.
Yeah, and we just kind of want to show some of this stuff because it's just it looks so great. But so the point of Spartacus, though, is to gain influence, and you do that through various ways of like winning a battle or controlling these different different aspects of the game.
Yeah.
And
I would probably say that I like the Spartacus game more.
honestly, okay.
But we have played the Sons of Anarchy game literally maybe 20 times more than the Spartacus game.
Because Sons of Anarchy slowly became our kind of, okay, like I don't want to say dude night, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little corny. Guys night. It's a little corny.
Yeah,
but-
we don't call it something. But yeah, we have a bunch of our guy friends over, and we
And
play.
it's just
and we
the
play
brothers.
Yeah, it's the brothers.
Just the
The good
brothers.
brothers. We invite all the good brothers over.
Yeah. And hey, we'll bring chips and salsa and everything.
Chips and salsa. We get down. I'll get us some good soda water going, and maybe some coffees beforehand, whatever. But we all get together. We always play Sons of Anarchy. It's become the game for that.
Yeah, it's literally the only game that we've played as that group. We've only played Sons of Anarchy. We've done it several times.
But it's a lot of fun because there's guns involved and there's drugs
Yeah,
involved.
it kind of feels rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the little pieces of cash
Yeah.
and so it just it becomes this really rough and tumble thing. And we'll put on like Spotify and we'll listen to like heavy stuff the whole time.
And keep in mind that these board games have an 18 and up age limit, so they're not like kids games. You know, they have like
they're really
like
not.
the cards have graphic images and cuss words and whatnot. So they feel like when you're watching the show, it feels like an adult's show.
I do want to
The
say
game
though,
feels that same way.
small interjection because we do talk a lot about television. I didn't like Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, we're not huge Sons of Anarchy fans.
I do want to put that out there. I don't really care for this TV show.
I like Sons of Anarchy.
It just gets too much off the wall for me.
But I had that same problem. I probably watched season 1 through 4, and maybe 5. I don't even know anymore. And at that point, it just kind of got too crazy, and it was like, man, this is out of control. You know?
Yeah,
This is just out of
not that I
control.
want to get too much into it, but
I don't hate Sons of Anarchy, but I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't even finish it.
I don't hate the show, but it just got too off the wall.
I liked the first and second seasons.
There was a character Opie on the show,
Yeah.
and as soon as I killed him, I felt like the whole soul of the show died.
Yeah.
It was
And if
just
you haven't
like,
seen it, that's not a spoiler alert because it's way too old. If you haven't seen it,
I don't
that's
care about
on you.
that. That's on you.
That's on
That's
you.
on you. I'm
Okay,
not
so
protecting
let's
anything.
move on. Those are the first two. The game that got us into games and our most played. But we have a favorite, and unfortunately,
We just don't get to play it
we
enough.
just don't get to play it enough.
Yeah.
But our favorite game so far that we've found is Rising Sun. And I think Rising Sun came out late 2017, maybe early 2018. My wife, Sabina, got it for me as a Christmas gift. And not last month, but last year.
Last year.
And man, we all just fell in love with it. It's just like, man, this game is cool.
Honestly, the game itself is beautiful.
Yeah,
The
as far
amount
as
of-
art is concerned.
The art of it is just breathtaking. The play of it is so
Uh-huh.
cool, and these pieces, the actual
The miniatures
the
are out of
miniatures,
control.
They're
out of
just
control.
amazing looking.
So you have your clans and they're small figures and they're just so extremely detailed. You just hold your clan figure and it's like, man, this is cool, you know?
Yeah,
But they also have these monsters, and the monsters are like triple the size of your clan figures,
and each of
and they're
these figures
so awesome.
are able to connect to a specific disc that
Yeah,
matches
little
the
color
color that matches the color of your clan, so that you always know whose is who.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, the amount of detail that went into this game, and there's, I forget what you call them right now, but they're like little tiny plates, and they almost feel like dominoes.
They feel like dominoes, yeah.
Yeah, and the
Little
way you're
tiles, yeah.
holding them, just the amount of
Yeah, all
detail.
the pieces feel like, man, this is not a game. Like
Yeah, this is not for a child.
This is crazy. So Rising Sun is based in kind of like an old world feudal Japan, and you have these. You get to select these different clans, and they each kind of have like a special, unique ability, and they're all kind of like warriors and ninjas and stuff like that. And you basically just. And it's funny because this is actually similar to Risk 2. It's an area control kind of thing. And you want to get into these areas, and other people want to get into the same area. And at the end of it goes through seasons, like winter, spring, summer, you know. And at
Which
the
I
end
also
of
think
it,
is a cool way to
yeah, it's a
approach
really
that.
cool thing.
Like,
yeah.
here's the different
It
areas.
goes to different seasons.
Yeah. Like, okay, coming back, like in Spartacus, it depends on where you're playing it at, but there's like 12 rounds or so. you
Yeah,
know?
there's like different rounds, but in
Or
Rising
so,
Sun,
yeah.
you go through a season.
Yeah, and I just thought that was just such a cool approach.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing, but with artistic twist on it. And that's how Rising Sun is. Every single aspect of the game has an artistic twist on it.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, you know? And I don't mean just from the physical artwork. I mean, just every little thing that they do.
I don't know if y'all can tell, but we just...
Yeah, we love it. You go through these battles, and then you claim a tile saying you won this battle. At the end of the game, you kind of add up all your points, and that's how you see whose clan has won.
Yeah, and each thing like benefits you more, and there are different ways that you can come up or down.
Yeah, you can excel, and then you could lose everything, and
there's even an option at some point in the game where you're basically, I can't remember the name of the word, but you basically commit suicide.
Yeah, it's kind of
You
like
know?
the old. I only know this from movies and stuff, so I don't know how historically accurate this is. But like the old the warriors would what are they called? The samurais would like take their sword and kill themselves.
Harakiri or something.
Yeah, and kill themselves in battle if they were about to be killed by an enemy. It's like supposed to be like a pride thing, like, oh, I'm not gonna let you kill me. I'll
I
take.
don't know if that's the way it really goes. I think it was more.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I think a lot of times it was more like a dishonor thing. Like, I'm not sure exactly how that worked, but
Yeah, as far as the history goes, I'm not sure. But in this game, you can do that. And if there's no way for you to win, then you can say, all right, well, if I kill myself here, I lose, but the other opponent doesn't gain from me as if they would have beat me. So it's every little thing of this game has been thought out.
yeah, there's just such cool details all along the entirety of that game. Yeah.
So we got a few games now in our collection, but those are the three that we thought were best to talk about.
Yeah, especially because one, we probably get to talk a little bit about the Spartacus television show.
Yeah.
And also, like, we just have to give it credit because it's a weird thing that's the game that got us into games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I think like I said, you just saw it at half price. But
I just saw it. You know what's funny though? There's a website. It's a forum called BoardGameGeek.com, and it's kind of like the board game community forum website. And there's thousands of people on there, and they rank the games. So every single game that you've ever thought of is on there, and they're all ranked. So if you type in any board game that you've ever even heard of, it's going to show up, and it's going to have an overall ranking. And I mean, there's 10, 20,000 games on there, like no joke, and they're all in order of the greatest game ever to the worst game ever. And if you type in Spartacus, it's literally like number 25. I'm not making that up. And it's so funny that I just randomly came across it and bought it. And I bought like the board game community's 25th rated best game ever. And I could be wrong about that number, but it's up there in like the 30s or the 20s. And I thought it was the craziest thing. And it's weird because if you look up Sons of Anarchy, it's like number 2,000 or something. Which I don't think is accurate, but I don't know.
yeah, like I said, to give some more credit to Sons of Anarchy, I think it's one of the best games for what we do with it.
Yeah, for what we use it for, it's more of a party. Whereas Spartacus is kind of calm. Rising Sun is actually really calm.
Yeah. There's a lot of like strategy involved. There's a lot of like kind of slow, methodical thinking.
Yeah.
And plus, you can team together with one other person.
Yeah.
And then y'all can kind of plot.
Kind of what you're gonna do
how to
next,
benefit from each other. And,
but whereas Sons of Anarchy, like we're literally screaming at each other.
yeah.
Like no,
You wanna go?
You wanna find it? We're literally screaming at each other, and I guess we could do that with any of the games, really.
Yeah, you could. But
Sons of
something about
Anarchy,
Sons of Anarchy just really pushes.
Yeah,
you to
like
do
whenever
that.
you fight another gang, you get to pull out your guns. One of the rules of fighting is roll your dice and then pull out your guns. And however many guns you've collected, you can pull them out, and they kind of like if 2 guns versus 3, like I would win, for instance. You know what I mean?
And I just love like all the
you literally get to pull your guns out on each other. Like it's just so crazy.
No, you don't know how many guns the other person.
Yeah, you have to
has.
like hide them.
There's all sorts of just really fun things to it, and I think really like the terminology there too is really cool. Like they'll call like how many dudes do you have? It literally says that in the book. Like,
Everything's
your
really
dudes,
cool,
I just the whole terminology.
It's cool. You don't really have to like the show to like the game.
Exactly.
The artwork
Exactly.
is based on the show. So you have all the characters and actors. They're all over the game pieces. But if you've never watched the show ever, you could still play because they just look like bikers. It could have been stock photos of like a motorcycle gang. It really doesn't
It's
make a
really
difference.
just biker gang. It's really just a biker gang game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Like a
really all
motorcycle.
it is. But
Yeah.
but it's licensed through Sons of Anarchy.
Exactly, it's just a license. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up about here. Those are our 3 games that we thought fit for this. Maybe we'll bring more games into this some other time. If you play board games, if you like any of these, if you played them, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, honestly, if you do like any, suggest some.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that would be one of the cooler things to do.
And if you're watching this and you are into board games, I will say this: we have a board game coming that we should be getting early February. It's called Hate. It's by Simon Games, the same designers that made Rising Sun. It's the same artist, the same designer, the same game company, even the same production company that made the miniature figures. They made a new game called Hate, and I kickstarted it, and I'm super excited about it. We're supposed to get it in next month, actually, is when we're supposed to get it. And we're extremely excited. Extremely excited because we love Rising Sun so much.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get into that whenever we get the game. We'll bring it on the show one time. But leave us a comment, tell me what you think, and
there's nothing this guy loves more than to just throw away his money on a board game.
Yeah.
So, definitely leave us a comment about some of your favorite board games or
And
whatever
if you're
got
playing
you into
games-
board games,
Yeah.
or if you're playing D&D and D&D. Let us know some details on that because try to get us into it because we're still at some point thinking. We gotta try this
One
right?
day, yeah.
Like I think there has to be some way to play it where it's not this long campaign or whatever. But anyways, that does it for Evil Things. I am Josh J. Hawk Hawkins.
Tim this, that.
Yo, enjoy the show.